What up? So I've been meaning to come and make a video for a minute, but you know how things be. So, anyways, I recorded this video already twice, so some of y'all have seen it. Like I think like 100 of y'all have seen it, but let's just get into it. So a while back, I was enjoying myself a little leisurely bike ride, and a bitch's hubs was tired, so I locked up the bike to this pole. And at the time, I did not know this, but the pole actually was just a pole. Like usually, when you lock up your bike, you lock it up to a stop sign or some sort of sign, so that you can make sure nobody like shimmies it up the pole. This pole was at least 9 feet high, so I really wasn't feeling like someone was gonna just in front of all these establishments just like straight up thief a bike. You know what I mean? It was a busy intersection, so I didn't really feel too pressed about security. So I left the bike there for like 2 days, and it wasn't my bike. I was borrowing the bike, and when I went to go get the bike, I noticed that the bike was gone. And something inside of my spirit was just like immediately telling myself, bitch, there's no way that the spirits, the deities, the divine beings that guide your feet got you walking a mile plus to go get this bike that don't exist. So I started looking around like, who am I about to run into? You know what I mean? Because we all got people that we don't want to see when we're out. So I happened to be walking down the street on the phone with my girl Lulu, and shout out to Lulu. I wanted to say, bitch, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just like crazy in my spirit right now. But anyways, Lulu calls me and is like, bitch, what happened? Because I'm like, bitch, my bike got stolen. Like, it's not even my bike. And, she was just calling to check on me because, when something happens, a lot of times people will be like, oh, that sucks, but I'm not going to give you a call. And we have been texting, like, not for very long either. And she was just like, I'm going to check on this bitch. And I just really appreciated that because I was kind of just like, what is about to pop off, because I feel like there's no coincidence, you know what I mean? There was no, like, when I finish the story, you're gonna be like, okay, wow. Because, really, for months, I had been trying to get in contact with somebody over some money that they had owed me, and I had other people reaching out to them, other people tapping them like, sis, was good, but to no avail. So then the situation popped off to where, I'm on the phone with Lulu just rehashing what happened with this bike situation, and I just happened to look to my left, and I see this bitch that owes me like $300 fucking dollars. So I was like, Lulu, I'm gonna have to call you back. And I hung up, and I just like looked at this bitch, and I was just grilling her. I was like, girl, like, I know I'm not seeing you after like how many months of you being in the same town as me and just obviously laying low as fuck. I ain't seen you at no events. I ain't seen you around the way. I ain't seen you at the fish fry. I didn't see you nowhere. But all of a sudden, here you go. So, as I mean mug, this bitch gonna pause and gonna be like, what? And I'm like, what are you doing here? I'm like, how are you still in New Orleans? And this bitch gonna tell me I live here. And was like, kind of just like, you know what I mean? Kind of like just having a little bit of razzle dazzle. So I was kind of like not really into that shit. So, I was just like, that's crazy to me. And, so then she was like, she's like, do you want to talk? Can we please just talk right now? And, I want to also lay the scene, y'all. I was on the corner of this busy ass intersection, really. And your girl had in two wigs, okay? I had my afro wig on top of my other afro wig, and the shit was just looking so luscious. Like, think Beyonce and Goldmember. I was just giving you all types of realness, okay? So I was out there, my hair was just, I was just giving all types of festive. And when I was talking to this person, I was just like in the back of my mind, I was like, ooh, I did not really pin this second wig on the bottom as much as I would like to, because I really feel like shit is about to get critical. So I was like, calculating in my head, because I seen a lot of people around, and I was like, I would really hate to lose a wig on this day, So maybe you don't know, but like it would be a tragedy. So I decided that I was just going to try to like listen to what this bitch had to say because, I am not an unreasonable character. But at the same time, bitch owes me coins, and unless you're telling me that you're about to wire me these shits today, like, I don't know what we have to talk about, but I was trying to just hear this person. And so she starts giving me her beat and, basically just lying, like resetting history and with her words. And I was like, bitch, like, are you playing games? Cause like, really, like, nah, like that's not even what went down. And so I started getting mad, right? So as I'm getting mad, I'm getting kind of loud. And so she drops her bike out of nowhere. Like her bike just slips out of her hand. And I didn't even tell y'all. Homegirl was like pushing a bicycle with a soda in her hand with a sandwich hanging off the end of the damn bike handle. So I was kind of just like, okay, so when the bike fell, the sandwich fell. And as she was down there trying to pick up the bike, I was just like, you know what? You're too comfortable for me. Like, you dropped your bike on me just now. Like, it hit my leg. I didn't really like the way that felt. And then, like, on top of it, you owe me hella money and you trying to lie to my face right now. So there's a lot of shit bubbling in my spirit. And so, out of anger, I, like, slapped the shit out of the soda in her hand. And then that's when the bitch wanted to get broad leg. So, she backed up, after the drink was like all over the ground. I could smell it was Dr. Pepper because it was hot on the street. And so she tried to come at me and I just backed up because I'm good at the evading moves, you know what I mean? And also she's 5 foot like nothing. So I was kind of like, I got that aerial advantage. Like my head size, I got like a head on her, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of looking down at her like, come on, queen. So I'm just like, girl, come on. And so I'm backing up and I'm just like saying, I'm like, girl, you want to go home, right? You want to go home, right? And I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, you want to go home because you about to get a legendary ass beating right now. And I'm dead because, as I'm saying all this, I'm taking off my coat because I'm like, I'm not about to scrap my coat. You're not going to have my winter nice ass coat fucked up with your silliness. I'm like, nah, let's go. So I was like taking off my coat, was getting a little bit stuck, but she was still charging me and I was just, you know what I mean? I was hitting her with a shake and bake and she was getting mad about it. But you know how we do. So when I got the coat off, I flung it dramatically as fuck. And I came at her. And I just remember I snatched her by her damn head. My fingers like slid through her scalp real clean. And I got her fucking together with a ponytail. And then I wrapped it like a little bun. And then I threw her to the ground. And then she gonna roll off the side of the street and shit. And then that's when I got on top of her and just laid on her ass. And I was like, didn't I tell you to go home though, bitch? Didn't I tell you to go home? And I'm just laying on her comfortable. She's struggling, but I'm comfortable. You feel me? Got my feet up and shit. I'm chilling. I'm kicked back. And, all of a sudden, mad people want to just pay attention to what the fuck is popping off. Because at first, it was like, these bitches about to fight, these bitches about to fight. But when I'm laying on her, niggas is dying. Because it's like, I was like, what am I going to do right now? You know what I mean? I'm not about to, like, really, like, murk somebody who's, like, 5 foot nothing right now in the streets. Like, that's just not my life. But I was like, something's gotta give. Like, something's gotta happen. So I'm laying on this bitch, right? And I'm just like, bitch, I told you to go home. And she's just struggling underneath me, crying, carrying on. And so then this old man comes up to me and he's like, baby, she's had enough. Get off her. And I was like, she really hasn't though. I was like, and I bet you when I get up off her, she's gonna try to hit me because she a punk ass bitch. And the old man was like, look, just get up and I'll get her. Just get up and I'll hold her back or some shit. And I'm like, I don't need you to hold her back. I got her. Look, she's got right now. And she's still struggling. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this bitch still underneath me like shit. So I eventually decide I'm gonna get off her, and as soon as I get up, this bitch gonna try to kick me in my damn leg. And I just started laughing. I was like, bitch, you lost. You was underneath me for most of the fucking skirmish. You are not winning. You losing, ma. So I was kind of like, I was just dead as fuck at that situation because when she popped up on me and kicked me, I noticed she was bleeding out her mouth. So I'm just like, who's bleeding? Hands down, not me. So this bitch gonna fucking get up all dramatically, gonna grab her bike, but don't want to go. Just gonna keep me mugging me until I walk the fuck off because I got my coat, tied it up, and just started walking away. And bitch, do you know my fucking wig didn't even fucking shift. My shit looked wonderful. And when I got home, I was like, Jody. I was like, tell me why I just had to beat this bitch ass. And Jody was dead because Jody was like, child, you don't even look like you went through nothing. You look like you was just leisure. Like you look still fabulous. Still gorgeous, darling. And I was like, I know, bitch. Like, fuck, I look like getting engaged into a fight where, I'm fucked up like that. That bitch was 5 feet tall. Like, come on now. But my whole situation was, how you gonna owe somebody that much money and then still be in the same town trying to act like you not hiding and shit? But obviously you are, cause I have not seen you and I stay on the streets. I was like, girl, bye. Girl, stop it. You fucking tried it, bitch.